The night was colder than usual, and the sky was the color of deep gray smoke. Arman kept his hands tight on the steering wheel as he drove along the quiet road outside the city. The world felt still, almost too quiet, like something was waiting to happen. He had left work late again, the 5th time that week, and his mind was full of worries he couldn't shake off. He kept replaying the argument he'd had earlier with his younger sister Sana. She had begged him to come home early for once. She wanted the family to have dinner together, something they had not done in months. But Arman had brushed her off, saying he had too much work. Now, alone on the road, he felt the weight of that conversation. He wished he had listened. Sana rarely asked for anything. She always tried to keep the family together, even when everyone was too busy with their own lives. But Arman had become the kind of person who was always too busy for dinner, too busy for friends, too busy to even notice that his parents were growing older. He didn't like admitting it, but deep inside, he knew he was the one drifting away. The road ahead stretched into darkness, interrupted only by his headlights. He could hear nothing except the soft hum of the engine. It should have been calming, but instead it made him feel uneasy. The night felt too empty. He glanced at the clock. It was almost midnight. Sana was probably asleep by now, and he would have to face her disappointed look in the morning. He sighed and rubbed his eyes, realizing how tired he really was. As he approached a fork in the road, he automatically turned left, the route he had taken every night for the past 3 years. But a new thought entered his mind as soon as he made the turn. Maybe he should stop somewhere and bring something home, maybe her favorite chocolate or a small cake. Maybe it would show her he cared, even if it was late. The idea made him feel slightly better. But as he drove further into the narrow road, he realized something felt strange. The streetlights were fewer here, and the turns felt sharper. He frowned. He knew this area, but tonight it felt different. The road ahead curved unexpectedly, forcing him to slow down. His tires rolled over scattered gravel, and a thin mist was rising from the trees on both sides. The air felt heavier. He reached for his phone to double-check the route. Maybe he had taken the wrong turn. The screen lit up, blinding him for a moment in the darkness. He blinked and refocused. His map app struggled to load, spinning endlessly. The signal here was weak. He lowered the phone, planning to stop on the side for a moment. That was when his headlights caught something ahead. A shape, no two shapes. At first, he thought they were animals, maybe stray dogs crossing the road. But as he got closer, he realized they were people. A man and a woman were standing near a broken-down motorcycle. The man was waving his arms, signaling for help, and the woman stood behind him, leaning slightly on the bike. Arman's heart jumped. He pressed the brake and slowed down as he reached them. The man rushed to the window, breathing hard, his face full of worry. "Please, can you help us?" he said. "The bike stopped working, and my wife isn't feeling well." Arman unlocked the doors immediately. "What happened? Are you okay?" he asked the woman as she slowly approached the car. She looked pale and tired, one hand pressed on her stomach. "I'm fine," she whispered, though she clearly wasn't. "She's pregnant," the man explained quickly. 7 months. We were on our way to the town clinic, but the engine just died. No cars ever come this way at night. You're the first we've seen." Arman felt a chill. If he hadn't turned here by mistake, he never would have seen them. "Get in," he said without thinking. "I'll take you to the clinic." The man nodded gratefully and helped his wife into the back seat. Arman turned the car around carefully. The road suddenly felt even narrower. As he drove, he could hear the woman breathing heavily. The man kept talking softly to her, trying to keep her calm. Arman increased his speed, though he kept his eyes sharp on the road. "Don't worry," Arman said, trying to sound steady. "We'll get there soon." The man sighed shakily. "Thank you." I don't know what we would have done if you hadn't come." Arman said nothing. Instead, he gripped the wheel tighter. His mind raced. The wrong turn he had taken moments ago now felt like something else, something meaningful. He didn't believe in fate or signs, but tonight, for the first time in a long while, he felt that his actions truly mattered. The road twisted again, and the forest on both sides seemed to close in. The woman let out a soft cry of pain, and the man leaned forward. "Please hurry," he whispered, his voice trembling. Arman pressed the accelerator gently. The engine roared a little louder. A thin fog rolled across the road, making it hard to see. His chest tightened. One mistake here, a sharp turn taken too fast, a moment of distraction, and it could all go wrong. He forced himself to focus. Every second mattered. Minutes passed, though they felt like hours. The clinic was still far. The woman's breathing grew uneven. The man kept wiping sweat from his forehead, though the night air was cold. Arman spoke again, trying to reassure them. "Hold on. I'm going as fast as I can." The woman nodded weakly. "Thank you," she whispered. "We just need to make it." Another curve approached, this one steeper. Arman slowed down, but just as he turned, his headlights caught something huge, a fallen tree branch lying across half the road. He swerved to the right, just enough to avoid it. The car shook, and the woman gasped in the back. "Careful." The man shouted. "I see it," Arman said breathlessly. His heart pounded so hard it hurt. He kept driving, hands shaking, but he didn't stop. He couldn't stop. The road finally began to widen as they left the forest area. Streetlights reappeared, faint but visible. The fog began to lift, and Arman felt a small wave of relief. They were entering the outskirts of the town. "We're close," he said. "Just a few more minutes." The man closed his eyes in relief. The woman leaned back, her breathing steadier now. As they approached the clinic, Arman honked the horn. The security guard at the gate quickly opened it, and nurses rushed outside when they saw the woman. They helped her out of the car and guided both husband and wife inside. Arman stepped out slowly, feeling as if the world had suddenly gone quiet again. He leaned against the car, letting the cold air calm him. The adrenaline was fading, leaving him tired but deeply grateful that they had made it. A few minutes later, the man came out again. He looked less tense now, his eyes wet with relief. "She's okay," he said, smiling. "The doctor says it was just stress and exhaustion. They're going to keep her for the night, but everything is fine." Arman felt his throat tighten. "I'm glad," he said softly. "I'm really glad." The man walked closer and held out his hand. "You saved us," he said. "I mean it. If you hadn't taken that turn, I don't know what would have happened." Arman shook his head. "Anyone would have helped." The man smiled. "Not everyone stops." "But you did." They talked for a few more minutes before the man returned inside. Arman stood alone again, staring up at the dim clinic lights. He suddenly felt overwhelmed, not from fear, but from everything the night had taught him. One wrong turn had led him to two people who needed help. One small choice had given them a chance. He sat in the car for a long moment, thinking about Sana. She always said that life changes quickly, sometimes without warning. She always told him to slow down, to look around, to be present. He had ignored her. But tonight, he understood her in a way he never had before. He started the car and drove home, not rushing, not distracted. The world felt different, not quieter, but clearer. He reached home and saw a small light still on in the living room. When he stepped inside, he found Sana asleep on the couch, a blanket wrapped around her. She had probably been waiting for him. Arman sat beside her and gently placed a hand on her shoulder. She woke slowly, blinking in confusion. "You're late," she whispered, half asleep. "I know," he said softly. "I'm sorry." She rubbed her eyes. "Is everything okay?" Arman nodded. "Better than okay." And thank you for always caring, even when I don't. Sana smiled sleepily. You're home. That's what matters. Arman felt his heart warm. The night had taken him on a path he never expected, but it had brought him back with a new understanding, with a new chance. He pulled a small chocolate bar from his bag, something he had bought on the way back, and placed it beside her. Sana laughed softly. You remembered, she said. I will try to remember more from now on, Arman replied. As she drifted back to sleep, Arman finally understood the truth he had ignored for so long. Life doesn't always give warnings. Sometimes it gives mistakes that turn into miracles. Sometimes it gives second chances wrapped inside the wrong moment. He promised himself that he would not waste the one he had been given. The moral of the story is simple. A single choice can change many lives. Slow down, pay attention, and don't take the people you love for granted. One wrong turn may lead to something you never expected, but one right decision can save everything.